Hello everybody, E here. Today I am inspired by my friend Cody Tidwell to do a top something for Stephen King. He did, back here on the computer you see, he did a top 6. Top 6 favorite covers. I will link down in the description below so you can check him out. I'll also put his Twitter and his Instagram and whatnot. Cool dude, he's a constant reader just like us. Today I'm going to do a top 5 favorite Stephen King novels. I am going to start off with, of course, number 5 and work my way up to number 1. I just want to warn you right now, I'm a different type of King reader. I appreciate his literary stuff more than I appreciate his genre stuff. While I do love horror King, I appreciate the literary side more. So you might be surprised by 1 or 2 of the books I picked. Alright, right off the bat, I'm going to start with The Wastelands. This is book 3 in his Dark Tower series. I really do believe it's one of his best works. Definitely deserves a spot in the top 5. This is where I feel the series started. Because the first book, The Gunslinger, is like a prologue. The second book is an introduction to all the characters you're going to be with, and then finally, in The Wastelands, we go ahead on our journey. Next up, we have what might be a surprise, Bag of Bones. I feel this is Stephen King's most accomplished novel, most mature novel. Some people think Lisey's Story is. It's a great book, don't get me wrong, but I think Bag of Bones is much, much better. So that's number 4. Next, probably another surprise, Revival. His most recent standalone, I feel, is a return to form, the best way that King could return to form. He has, of course, gone far more to the literary side of things, well, not with the Mercedes trilogy, but his standalone books especially have gone more toward the literary side of things. I feel that Revival is one of his strongest works, and it is so far, the pinnacle of older King, of current King, modern King, whatever you want to call it. I enjoyed the hell out of this book. I read the novel when it first came out, and then I directly jumped right back into the audiobook and tore through that, and I'll probably reread it very soon. Number 2 and number 1 are kind of a tie, but number 1 is a bigger accomplishment, so let's just say, but I enjoy both these books equally. Number 2 is Pet Sematary. I remember, I have a personal story about this. I remember going to see the film with my parents when I was, with my mother and her friend at a drive-in movie theater when I was 9 years old. I was in the back seat, hiding behind the driver's seat, and I just happened to look around the driver's seat right as Zelda popped up on screen. And those of you who've seen the movie know who Zelda, or read the book and know who Zelda is, you'll know what I'm talking about. She terrified the shit out of me, and I peed myself. 9-year-old boy in the back seat, and I peed myself. I'm not proud of it, but I think that's my very first experience with Stephen King, and from that point on, yeah, even though I peed myself, I knew that this was a creator that I was going to be following the rest of my life. Finally, my number 1 is a lot of people's number 1s. In fact, when people ask me what's my favorite Stephen King book, and I tell them what my favorite Stephen King book, they say, yeah, right, well, it's everybody's favorite Stephen King book. What's next on your list? I end up having to bring up Pet Sematary, and then it isn't until I get to book 3 that they're like, okay, well, I didn't expect that. But my favorite, probably your favorite, number 1 is It by Stephen King. A masterclass in horror. It to me is the Citizen Kane of horror novels. Not only that, but it is a astounding literary accomplishment. What he accomplished in this book, it's not been equaled. He's not topped it. It's the best thing he's ever written. And yes, there are scenes in the book that are controversial. There are reasons for those scenes, or that scene in particular, you know what I'm talking about. There's a reason for it. You don't have to like it, but to denounce or completely reject this book as one of the best books ever written for that one, I think it's like 15-page scene, is ridiculous. There's 11, I think there's 1,100 pages total. Maybe this is 1,100 pages total. If you're going to judge a book by 15 pages, I disagree with you. Anyways, so that's my top 5. If you have a top 5 or you have any list you'd like me to see, leave it down in the comments down below. And I guess I'll see you next time. So until then, I have an E, you have an U. This has been my top 5 Stephen King books, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.